Good morning, beloved. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, whenever it is that you are watching the broadcast. Hello, 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 hello. It's wonderful connecting with you, saying hi, hello, how do you do? What is happening? What is going on with you? Blessings, blessings, and more blessings I speak unto you. For those who will be live, yes, 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 let's do it. For those who will hashtag and replay it, I love it. For those who will be on and I don't know you on and I might not never know you on, I could appreciate that. And for those who will be used by Papa at some point down the road to encourage this girl, let's make it do what it do. Let's make it do what it do. Blessings, 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 and more blessings I speak unto you. So, coming on a little bit late this morning. I got up, but didn't get to the live in time to start when I like to start. Um, But here we are. We got about 10 minutes to do this one. So this week we're going to be talking about the idea of being versus begging. Being versus begging. Do you know, in life, particularly Black folk in America, we have been not just from a socioeconomic space, but definitely from a socioeconomic space, but also from an identity space. We have been psychologically positioned to beg for validation, to beg for position, to beg to be honored, to beg to be seen. Do you know? I mean, just historically, like I'm not making stuff up. This not made up. Um, and so psychologically, we've got to check ourselves to make sure that that's not still happening, right? That's not still happening. So if you've read my book is Freedom is Our Birthright, my second book. I really talk about that, right? Discovering core wounds that had, discovering an internal message that had been a part of my existence, developed in childhood, just from the absence of representation of myself in major media. And then when it was represented, it wasn't represented well, right? And this isn't really my subject, but it's an example. Begging versus being versus begging. So all of us, no matter what category of people we can fall ourselves into, and I mean from a ethnic perspective, um, as humans, it's vital that we practice being and not begging, that we see our space and our place in the earth, right? In this vast universe as ours, that we know that we are a unique contribution and every last one of us we all have something to add. Like it's vital that we understand that we see that we live that out, because then we don't cheat ourselves and we don't cheat the rest of the universe because we will downplay or limit what our contribution is or can be. So I invite us really to this idea of showing up fully in life, of being our fullest version. And if we find ourselves shrinking, like holding back and pulling back, then just knowing that it's not our truth. It's not the truth of our soul. Like our soul has so much more to offer. Our soul has so much more to bring forth. And just know that's not the truth. It's not the truth of our soul, right? And so the truth of our soul is that we are phenomenal. Every human is phenomenal. We have something phenomenal to add. We have to know it though, in order to maximize it, because if we don't, we will find ourselves showing up in ways that just simply don't honor our soul's cry. And so I invite you that if there's any place in your life where you find yourself begging, that know that the energy you bring with that is that of desperation. And scripture talks about whatever we sow, we shall also reap. So if we live from a place of desperation, it's all we'll see. It's all that'll become a part of our purview. It's all that we'll know. It's what we'll know primarily, right? And then we will get the harvest of desperation. So it's imperative, beloved, that we practice being. There is empowerment in our being. There is significance for sure in our being, but there's transformative essence in our being, because when we show up as our true being, right? When we show up as our true being, then there is more. Do you see? There is more. When we show up as our true being, then there becomes more. Good morning, Ray Price. Thank you for your prayers. Right? Because that just, hey, Frank, I'm feeling your message today. Good morning. Good morning, Frank. Good morning. Because what we do is we just automatically unlock more. We automatically unlock more. So depending on, and the truth of the matter is we all have different experiences as individuals. We have different experiences as families. We have different experiences as regions, ethnic groups. We all have different experiences. And so our being, right, being able to live the fullness of our being, we have to contend with those other pieces. We can't ignore those pieces. We can't, because they're going to show up. Now, we don't have to make them what they say, the something that we die on, right? The cross, whatever that we die on. Like, that doesn't have to be our defining factor, but it's an influencing factor. And so whatever it is that influences us, we've got to contend with it. And so I invite us to not live as beggars, right? Now, let me show you what I'm not saying. I know that every human needs another human. That's how we live. Thank you for the love. So, absolutely, if we need help, go get it. Ask for it. Put the feelers out there. Let's not. Hi, Sherwin. Good morning, my brother. Good morning. Let's not be prideful, so full of nonsensical pride. Pride has its place, but not in a sense when we are in need. We're embarrassed and we're going to let ourselves suffer because we're embarrassed. That's foolishness, right? That's culture. Pretty much Western ideological culture that says you're supposed to pull your own self up by your bootstraps, and if you don't, you're less than this. Crap. Okay? We're designed to live in community and to love and serve one another. And the truth of the matter is we are better together. This whole individualistic society, so on and so forth, that's why suicide rates are as high as they are in this country, right? That's why we find ourselves in the situation and places that we are, because we've owned this notion. No. Humans strive better together, right? Better together. If I'd had my way, none of us would have ever left, right? If we had, which we didn't, right? We grew up in poverty, so we didn't have like the family home, the original family home. Eventually we got a home that was kind of like the family home. But at any rate, if I'd had it my way, we would have never left. We wouldn't have. I think that's the better way. I think it's better for us to all live together. Now, keep in mind what it was like when there were generations and generations upon generations who lived with each other. I know that there was some limitation to that, but let me tell you what wasn't ever a problem. There was never a problem as to who was going to take care of the kids. There was never a problem as far as who's cooking, who's cleaning, who's this, who's that, all those kinds of things, because it was a collective effort. Everybody had their part. Everybody did their part. There wasn't one person or one couple who carried the brunt of everything that happened in the household. That's foolishness to me, and that kills us because now we're working just to pay. What? Whereas if we kept, now this was the African American experience. This was our golden I forget what I'm getting ready to say. I haven't had this conversation. I used to have this conversation all the time. But at any rate, the thing that was our prize was that we lived in extended family experiences. That was our prize. We lived in extended family experiences, and we had shared lived responsibilities. Like in my mom, like what I love it is at one point, my mom and my sister, it was a 4-generational home. Somebody was almost always home. You could always go get a meal. There was no question about babysitting, There was shared, right? So anyhow. And same with me. If I'd had it my way, my son would have never left. He would have, and I'm not one of those mothers who just want to baby my child and whatever, Yeah, I love him and I will do anything I can for him. However, and anything I can also is helping him to be, a full man. So I'm not trying to baby him, but this is what I'm saying. That if we can pull our resources, pull our finances, instead of paying for all these individual, I know I'm off on a rant, but here we are. Instead of paying for all these individual households with individual this bill and individual this, that individual that is shared and collective. And then instead of all of that, we can, we have more finances to invest. We get to go phenomenal, transformative vacation, see lands that we never, all the things. Anyway, get off my soapbox, because I think what comes to my mind is hoodwinked, bamboozled, sold a bill of goods, right? Anyway, we find ourselves begging when we think individualistic. But if I'm in need of help, that's not begging. That's inviting community to be community, beloved. And if you think it's begging, I invite you to reconsider. Right? I invite you to reconsider. So, I'm all over the place this morning. I've got some things that I'm very passionate about. I just believe that we are better together. We live in community. It's one of the reasons that I absolutely love my family. It's hard for me to even call it church. For me, it's my family who we do church together, right? So for instance, let me give you an example. We all were going to Aruba. I did an event in Aruba, an amazing event. It was 10 of us women who went. And my house was kind of the central place. 5 of us were leaving on the same day, and all of us couldn't fit in my vehicle. Then, of course, you don't want to pay those exorbitant prices to park at the airport. So one of my sisters was like, you know what? I'm gonna see if Elder can take us. Elder lives across the street from me. Elder and I, our family origin started in church, right? And so she was like, so okay. So at any rate, it works out that Elder ends up being the main person. At one point, we thought we wasn't going to need him. Then we realized we did. So he ends up being the main person, taking us to the airport and picking us up from the airport. Drove my vehicle, kept my keys, picked us up. It's family. That, for me, is everything. It's everything. I love that we seamlessly live that way. I have a nephew, Audio, who lives by the airport. So many times I've left my car at his home to go to the airport, and he'll pick us up, drop us off. He's like, you don't have to take Uber. I will. That's family. That's not begging. That's serving one another. I am here to serve. I'm here to serve. I am here to serve. I am here to serve. And my life is richer. It's enriched because I do it. I love it. And I'm served well as a result of it, because sowing and reaping is real. Anyway, I'm off my soapbox, and I was all over the place this morning, but it is what it is. That's not an apology. It's just really a recognition. And I love you. I appreciate you three gentlemen, for being on this morning. Thank you, Ray Price. Thank you, my friend Frank Wood, my family as well. Thank you, Sherwin, church family there. And I love you. I appreciate you. I value you. And I will see you soon. See you tomorrow. Bye-bye. Oh, at the moment that God gave us our breath, we forfeited, we relinquished. You and I gave up the right to not be amazing. Bye-bye for now.